What if I told you that behind the polished smiles, royal ceremonies, and Netflix documentaries lies a vault of secrets so explosive they could tear apart the House of Windsor forever? Yes, we're talking about Prince Harry's alleged royal blackmail files, a collection of damaging documents, recordings, and inside information that insiders claim he's holding as his ultimate weapon. And if you thought Meghan Markle's rumored threat to file for divorce was already headline-worthy, wait until you hear how these files could be used in a battle that makes even the most dramatic episodes of The Crown look tame. But before we continue, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell for more updates. The shocking whispers aren't just about a royal marriage on the rocks. They point to an epic showdown between tradition and rebellion, duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal. And right in the middle of it all, Harry and Meghan, the world's most controversial couple, who just might be sitting on a powder keg powerful enough to change the monarchy forever. But here's the burning question. Are these files real? And if so, what's inside them? And perhaps even more important, why now? Why would Meghan allegedly threaten divorce at this very moment? And how do these so-called blackmail files fit into her strategy? Before we dive into the dark corridors of royal secrets, let's rewind the story and uncover how we got here. The fairy tale that turned into a Netflix thriller. Back in 2018, the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle looked like the beginning of a modern fairy tale. A handsome prince, a Hollywood actress, and a love story that promised to bring a fresh breeze into centuries of royal tradition. The world cheered as they kissed on the steps of St. George's Chapel. Commentators hailed it as the modern monarchy reborn. But fairy tales have shadows. Behind the glitz, Meghan struggled to adapt to the rigid traditions of royal life. Harry felt increasingly trapped, torn between loyalty to his family and the desire to protect his wife. And when the couple made their bombshell exit from royal duties in 2020, a move that tabloids quickly branded Megxit, the cracks in the fairy tale grew into visible fault lines. From interviews with Oprah to the Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan made one thing clear. They were no longer afraid of speaking their truth. But truth in the royal world comes with consequences. The more they revealed, the more their relationship with the monarchy fractured. And here's where the whispers begin. According to insiders, Harry didn't leave empty-handed. He left with something far more dangerous than a title: information. What exactly are the royal blackmail files? The phrase sounds like something straight out of a spy novel. But in royal circles, whispers of files and recordings are nothing new. Insiders suggest that Harry, who lived for decades within the palace walls, has access to a treasure trove of secrets, private conversations, from behind-the-scenes disputes at Buckingham Palace to late-night strategy talks with senior royals, financial records, sensitive information about royal spending, taxpayer funds, and private wealth, personal scandals, the kind of juicy stories tabloids dream about, involving affairs, rivalries, and betrayals, recordings. Rumors swirl that Harry has phone calls and meetings recorded, some dating back to the peak of the family feud. Imagine this, a digital vault of emails, voice memos, and personal notes, collected not just during his time as a working royal but also after he left. Whether by accident or intention, Harry may now hold the most dangerous weapon in royal history: knowledge. And here's the kicker: according to sources, Meghan knows it, which makes the divorce threat even more chilling. Because if their marriage truly breaks apart, the files could become her ultimate bargaining chip. Meghan's divorce threat, real or strategic? Let's pause for a second. Is Meghan Markle really threatening divorce? Or is this just another tabloid storm in a teacup? Here's what we know. Meghan has been painted as both the villain and the victim in the media. To her critics, she's a manipulative outsider who tore Harry away from his family. To her supporters, she's a brave woman who dared to challenge centuries of outdated traditions. But in either case, the rumor that she's considering divorce sends shockwaves. Why? Because Meghan doesn't move without strategy. Some royal watchers suggest this isn't about breaking up the marriage at all. Instead, it's a tactical move, a way to remind both Harry and the royals that she's not afraid to use the nuclear option. And that's where the blackmail files come in. If Meghan leaves, the leverage Harry holds might not stay with him. It could become part of her arsenal, especially if custody, finances, and reputation are on the line. So ask yourself, is this a love story unraveling, or a chess match with global stakes? Why now? Timing is everything. Timing matters. And in this case, the rumors of divorce and blackmail surface at a moment of incredible vulnerability for the monarchy. King Charles, still solidifying his reign after Queen Elizabeth's passing, faces a delicate balancing act. Prince William is preparing for his future role as king, carefully managing his image. Public trust in the monarchy wavers amid changing attitudes. Enter Harry and Meghan, the wild cards. Their every move creates headlines. Their every statement sends ripples through the palace. And if the blackmail files are real, their timing couldn't be more perfect or more dangerous. Imagine Charles dealing with a scandal while trying to unify the monarchy. Imagine William's carefully curated image shattered just as he steps closer to the throne. The files, if unleashed, wouldn't just embarrass individuals. They could destabilize the entire institution. And Meghan? She knows the power of timing. Divorce, blackmail, or both, striking now could maximize impact. What could be inside the files? Speculation and secrets. Here's where things get even juicier. While no one outside the couple truly knows what these files contain, let's explore the possibilities that have royal insiders on edge. 1. Scandals about finances. Are taxpayer funds really used as transparently as claimed? Could private spending expose hypocrisy? 2. Hidden affairs. Royal gossip has always hinted at secret romances. Could names and evidence finally come to light? 3. Power struggles. Conversations between Charles, William, and palace advisors that reveal cracks in leadership. 4. Media manipulation. Proof of deals struck with tabloids to protect certain royals at the expense of others. 5. Private medical details. Health rumors about senior royals have always circulated. Evidence could shake confidence in leadership. Even one of these revelations could dominate global headlines for weeks. Combined, they'd be catastrophic. But here's the real bombshell. Insiders whisper that the files include recordings of Charles and William discussing Meghan directly. If true, this would be dynamite, not only confirming Harry and Meghan's long-standing complaints about mistreatment, but also exposing the royal family's private views for the world to judge. Mini cliffhanger: are the files a myth or a master plan? Now, here's where curiosity takes over. Are we looking at a genuine arsenal of secrets that could collapse the monarchy, or a clever myth crafted to keep Harry and Meghan relevant? Because let's be honest, in the world of royal drama, perception is as powerful as reality. Even the suggestion of blackmail files gives Harry and Meghan leverage. Whether they exist or not might not even matter. But if they do, the royals are sitting on a ticking time bomb. And this brings us to the next pressing question. What happens if Meghan actually files for divorce, and those files become part of the battle? The dark truth about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Inside the royal blackmail files, the divorce battlefield, a war beyond the palace gates. Divorce in ordinary life is messy. Lawyers, finances, custody battles. It's enough to drain anyone emotionally and financially. But when the couple in question is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the stakes rise into uncharted territory. This isn't just about splitting assets. It's about splitting an empire. Imagine the courtroom drama. Lawyers digging into royal finances, Meghan's team pushing for transparency, Harry's side trying to protect centuries of secrecy. Every document filed would become public record. Every hearing another global headline. And here's the cruel irony. While most couples fight over property, Harry and Meghan's divorce could unleash a battle over something far more destructive: truth. Because truth, once weaponized, can never be contained. Meghan's leverage, more than just a divorce settlement. If Meghan really threatens divorce, it's not just to walk away, it's to walk away stronger. She knows the value of public perception. She knows that sympathy, scandal, and shock can all translate into influence. Let's map out her potential leverage. 1. Custody of the children. Archie and Lilibet aren't just kids. They're royal blood, the great-grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth II. A custody battle would spark international interest and potentially draw in the monarchy itself. 2. Financial security. While Harry inherited millions from Princess Diana, Meghan could demand access to shared assets and future earnings. If the blackmail files exist, they become her bargaining chip to ensure a golden parachute. 3. Public image. A divorce could shift the narrative. Meghan could paint herself as the wronged wife who tried everything, while Harry becomes the conflicted prince torn between love and loyalty. 4. The files themselves. Here lies the nuclear option. Meghan doesn't need to use them. She only needs the world to believe she might. It's like sitting at a poker table with a royal flush in your hand. Whether she plays it or not, everyone else is already sweating. Harry's dilemma, torn between love and loyalty. Let's not forget Harry in all of this. He isn't just Meghan's husband. He's the spare-turned-rebel prince, a man who walked away from the only life he knew to protect his family. If Meghan truly threatens divorce, Harry faces an impossible choice. Protect Meghan and risk total war with the royals. Protect the monarchy and risk losing Meghan forever. Think about the emotional weight. This is the man who watched his mother, Princess Diana, hounded by paparazzi until her tragic death. He's spoken about trauma, therapy, and his lifelong struggle with mental health. For Harry, divorce wouldn't just mean heartbreak. It would feel like history repeating itself. And yet, the royals aren't just a family, they're an institution. If the blackmail files threaten that institution, the pressure on Harry to do the right thing will be immense. But what's the right thing? For Harry, there may not be one. The royal panic. Charles, William, and the palace machine. Now picture Buckingham Palace behind closed doors. The chandeliers glitter, the portraits of monarchs past stare down. But the mood is anything but regal. King Charles, still adjusting to his role as monarch, reportedly worries about legacy. For decades, he fought to be accepted as the rightful heir after his messy divorce from Diana and his controversial marriage to Camilla. Now, his son could drag the monarchy back into another soap opera that threatens everything. Prince William, the heir apparent, sees the bigger picture. He's spent years carefully crafting his image as the steady, dependable future king. A scandal from Harry could undo it in a heartbeat. The idea of private conversations, recordings, or financial details leaking out terrifies him more than any headline about Meghan's fashion choices. And then there's the palace machine, the advisors, the press secretaries, the fixers. These are the people whose job is to contain scandals before they explode. But how do you contain something when the weapon sits in California, in the hands of two people who no longer play by your rules? One word describes the palace mood: panic. Media manipulation. Who really controls the story? Here's where things get even more twisted. The royal family has always had a complicated relationship with the press. From staged photo ops to whispered deals with tabloid editors, the monarchy has long understood the power of media. But Harry and Meghan flipped the script. Instead of relying on palace-approved narratives, they built their own platform: interviews, books, podcasts, and Netflix specials. They didn't need the palace press office anymore. They went directly to the people. Now imagine a divorce scenario. The palace pushes one story: Meghan as the villain, Harry as the prodigal son. Meghan pushes another, herself as the victim of a cold institution, Harry as the tragic casualty of generational trauma. And in the middle, the blackmail files. Even the rumor of them forces the media to choose sides. Some outlets would salivate, others would tremble at the legal risks. And the public? They devour every headline, every speculation, every leaked exclusive. The question isn't just who controls the files, it's who controls the narrative. Public opinion, the court that really matters. In the 21st century, crowns and titles mean less than hashtags and trending topics. The monarchy can survive wars, divorces, and scandals, but can it survive losing public opinion? This is where Meghan's alleged threat becomes deadly serious. If she positions herself as the wronged wife who tried everything, if she hints that Harry's loyalty to his family over her destroyed their marriage, the public may rally behind her, especially outside the UK, where sympathy for Meghan has always been stronger. And if Harry is forced to choose, His popularity could collapse in Britain but soar in America. He could go from prince to martyr, from royal exile to cultural icon.